How did my story impact you?
Well, I didn't realize a lot of women have that, go through that until you express it to, you said your story, and I was like, oh wow, and realized that. And it had me thinking about my daughter, even though she didn't go through that, but I was trying to, I wanted to protect her more, so that way she won't go through that, and create a safe space so she can talk about it.
Yes.
Because sometimes we as parents, sometimes we overthink, and we'll go forth and tell you, well, we need you to do this, need you to do that, but we're not actually thinking that it might not be that, it might be something else.
Yes.
So sometimes we overlook it. We as parents, we are not perfect. So parenting did not come with a book. But
that's what my parents say all the time. Parenting did not come with the book.
It did not. But we learn. Me as a parent, I'm learning. Even though my child is 14, I'm still learning.
Yeah.
She's a teenager, so I'm still learning. Even though I used to be a teenager, but back then it's different than it is now, because back then we didn't have cell phones yet. We still had house phones. So.
And I think like phones, social media, all
Yes.
of that impacts so much of our lives, because so many kids, especially teenagers, like me included, I'm a young adult, but I'm still always constantly on my phone.
Right.
And I think just watching what we watch, like if we watch positive things, it's amazing. And uplifting stuff, but a lot of people don't. Like they watch a lot of sad stuff, or they're already sad, so they watch a lot of sad stuff, which I at one point was guilty for that. I would become sad, and then I would just watch sad stuff, which would make me even sadder. And then I was like, well, I got to get out of this cycle. Right. And so I finally did, and that's been great. But like for your daughter, for example, like she's 14. I mean, you can't protect her from everything.
Right.
That's the reality of life.
Right.
It sucks, but it's such the reality, because like my parents, they kept me protected. Like they were very like strict. They did not like let me do anything. And then Izzy's parents, for example, they didn't care what she did. So we definitely had a very different growing up. Is she could do whatever she wanted, and then I was super strict. Like I had super strict parents, and I could not do whatever I wanted, and all of that. So like, and I still went through all of the stuff I went through, even with having strict parents. So it's just like, you can be as strict as you want and everything, and you can try to protect as much as possible, but it doesn't always work out in that way.
True.
So, yeah.
But thank you for telling your story, though. You really impacted me a lot.
Good. I'm glad it impacted you in a way that, like, I don't know, but I'm glad it impacted you in a way that, like, you can try to protect your daughter and be there for her.
Right.
Always be there.
Yes.
But, like, also just kind of what I said earlier, like, also don't get mad at her if she goes to someone else and not you. Which I know you said you do not care about that, so that is really good, because my parents did care about that a lot. So just be there for your daughter, and just always be a helping hand and a shoulder to cry on every time she needs it.
Yay.
But yeah, of course.